Okay, let's start again.
So, can you talk to me about the difference in allergy supplements?
Yes, so tell me what kind of issues you're having with your dog or cat.
I have a 2-year-old Frenchie who got very itchy last year. I'm just trying to get ahead of the game with some supplements to kind of keep him less itchy and more comfortable this summer.
Perfect. So I'm going to do a short talk about this with you, but I also have a YouTube video that talks about kind of what you do to predate getting ahead of allergy season. And you kind of want to do this both fall and spring. And we're in the spring season right now. We've just had an influx of what we call yellow snow here. And so that's where this kind of ties in. I generally recommend, if you can, get started like in March, because you want to start working on the protocol at that time to kind of have that inflammation down before it comes around to April, when we start to have the extreme blossoming here of all of the trees and everything else. So the first thing is itchiness, because we've got stuff coming up from the soil, we've got a lot of pollen falling down, you've got fresh growth coming up, and most dogs are in the wood element, so they're kind of sensitive to these seasonal changes, or can be. You've had them on this, and this is a very good formula, there's no problem with it, but for seasonal allergies, I really find that quercetin is very, very important, because it's a great anti-inflammatory, and coupling that with fish oil or algal oil, one of those that really your animals should be on pretty much all the time anyway, really builds a powerhouse to help kind of calm that inflammation down and keep it at bay. The other thing that's very important is to use wipes. So, you know, any of the kind of the wipes that you have that are very clean, you want to make sure it's super clean ingredients. I think this has grapefruit and macadamia extract. When they come in, wiping their belly down, wiping the paws down, that'll go a long way with preventing some of that itchiness, because you're literally taking the pollen off before they get into the house. Once they get into the house, as soon as they lay down on the bedding with the pollen on them, they've now got various areas where they're just continuously picking it back up and re-inflaming themselves. Now, this is a new formula that we just got in. It comes in a liquid as well, but the powder formula has quercetin in it. And I also have quercetin phytosome. These are the kickers that really are super, super good anti-inflammatories. Same thing with Dr. Ruth Roberts' Histopause. She developed this specifically for allergies, and especially for environmental allergies.
Well, when would you want to go to a more single ingredient versus a mixed approach?
It depends on the animal. And if you have an animal that's got a lot of intolerances, we test that with a Yukari test. Then sometimes it's better to start with something that's more of a straight ingredient, just so that you can determine what's causing the inflammation a little bit better, or not contributing to adding something into the mix that could be on that, maybe not the severe side, but moderate, to where it's a very clean formula for them. It really depends, it's animal by animal, but you know, I'm happy to work with people to figure out what that specific thing is if there's a really big problem. We had a customer in here yesterday who I've been working with her dog Tycho for a number of years now, and now she knows just what to go to when Tycho starts. He's a blue pit bull, so he's got lots of issues going on. Now, I know that if you have an animal it's not so much seasonal, but we're really looking at kind of a long-term solution. This is a great formula. It's Herbsmith's Allergy, and this is based on a traditional Chinese veterinary medical formula. They cool heat, they harmonize the system. So this is something that you can use for yearly, all year round, and it's going to help kind of keep a very stable environment for those dogs that are particularly hot and you can't quite get inflammation calmed down. It could be environmental, it could be related to certain foods that they're taking in. This is a great formula for that. We also just got in Spirited Paw. Now, Spirited Paw is part of the standard process line. It's the very first line they're bringing into retail stores. It's generally only practitioners, and I'm one of their practitioners that uses standard process a lot. This is interesting because it's whole foods. So all of the formulas are going to be based, it's going to be a little bit different from some of these other ones. It's all based on whole food ingredients. They grow it on their own farm. It's an organic farm. And gosh, I can't read this, but I'll try. So licorice root, very good for the gut. Lysine and lion's mane. So lysine for immunity. Lion's mane is a really good mushroom for immunity building. This has vitamin E, very important. Zinc. So it's built for allergies, but it's more for an overall tonic style allergy instead of, something that's really targeted and seasonal. And of course, with all of this, take a look at your fish oils. Nordic Naturals does really nice Northern Sea fish. We carry Brilliant Salmon Oil, which I think is one of the cleanest salmon oils on the market today. So you've got some good selections. Ultra Oil is all northern fish, sardine, mackerel with flaxseed in it. And flaxseed has some very specific good things that it does for most animals. Not all, but if they have a flax sensitivity, you don't want to use that one. But flaxseed is really good for some of the digestive lining, etc. So there you go.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.